We've got a couple of questions on kind of storage of hydrogen. Perhaps I could put these to you, Chris, and we'll see if you can answer them. There's just some questions around storage of hydrogen in seawater or in salt caverns. I know salt caverns is a really interesting topic. Could you give us something on that?
Well, so look, I mean, the caverns are quite an interesting one. I mean, and it does depend on your geology. So, I mean, there are groups like Verbund, for example, that are looking at blending, actually not in salt caverns, but looking at blending on the existing natural gas caverns, hydrogen with natural gas, because I think people assume it must be a salt cavern. And yes, if it is 100% hydrogen, then there's the leakage question. But actually, even within natural gas caverns, there are quite a lot of people looking at this and saying low-level blends might work. And so I just thought I'd put that out there as a starter while we're going through some of this transitionary discussion. With regards to salt caverns itself, I think this is quite unique to certain jurisdictions. So there are 7, I believe, hydrogen salt caverns in operation globally, of which I believe 3, maybe 4 in America, and I think there are 2, 3 in the UK. Main one is in Teesside. It is known to be one of the cheapest ways to produce hydrogen, but it requires a significant upfront investment. And I think, again, this is kind of where the government has to step in and take a little bit of a strategic view because, there's a chicken and egg dilemma with this scale of infrastructure. You're not simply building a 1-ton hydrogen compressed trailer. You're building something that is going to be able to hold potentially, half a terawatt or a quarter of a terawatt hour worth of hydrogen. And the implications of that are enormous, but someone has to make that initial early stage investment, and it is a multi-year process. And to give you an alternative to what we're seeing in the UK, if you were to look at DecarbonX in Ireland, which is a Irish developer that's building salt cavern storage, they actually have got engagement from the Irish government, who are looking at this as a long-term thing and saying, could Ireland be like a strategic storage hub for hydrogen, green hydrogen, given all of its renewable resources? I think the opportunities and the costs are there. It's really just how do you get to that final investment decision that is usually the main issue for those countries that have that unique geology. And countries that don't have those geologies, I think it's more complex. You then get into the world of, are we reliant on pipelines? Are we looking for a new stage hydrogen storage technology, potentially cryogenic? Cody's alluding to new technologies in the space, or even the sort of discussions that Alicia Eastmans of this world from Intercontinental Energy will tell you, which is ammonia, or even green methanol. I think these are very specific to individual countries, and geological storage will be appropriate for a few markets, but not for all.